natural gas is mostly methane, a potent greenhouse gas that is over 25 times more efficient than carbon dioxide at trapping heat in the atmosphere over a 100-year period. A concoction of chemicals, water, and frac sand is pumped into a drill hole at pressures up to 9,000 pounds per square inch to break apart shale rock to create fissures that release natural gas. Fracking just one well can use 2 to 8 million gallons of locally sourced fresh water, with the major components being water, 90%, sand or proppants, 8 to 9.5%, and chemicals, 0.5 to 2%. One 4 million gallon fracturing operation uses from 80 to 330 tons of chemicals, and each well is fracked numerous times. Approximately 40,000 gallons of chemicals, including known carcinogens and toxins, are used per fracturing. It is important to note that many chemicals used in fracking are considered proprietary or trade secrets, making a full assessment of potential carcinogenicity difficult, meaning we simply do not know all the chemicals that oil and gas companies are using. Many proven cancer-causing chemicals, substances that are classified as Group 1 carcinogens or carcinogenic to humans by the World Health Organization and its International Agency for Research on Cancer, have been identified in hydraulic fracturing fluids, flowback water, and air emissions near drilling sites. Hydraulic fracturing flowback not only contains chemicals added during well stimulation, but the water that flows out of the well as the gas is produced will contain a variety of toxic and carcinogenic substances, most of which are not contained in the fracturing additives. This release results in additional contaminants formed in the wastewater. For example, bronopol is a biocide with low human toxicity that can release nitrite, which in alkaline medium reacts with secondary amines to produce the potent nitrosamine carcinogens. Research by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and the U.S. Endocrine Disruption Exchange, Inc. has demonstrated that fracking fluids contain toxic substances known to cause serious health impacts such as cancer and organ damage, and can have negative impacts on neurological, reproductive, and endocrine systems. Chemicals that have been confirmed to be human carcinogens causing various cancers, including leukemia, bone marrow failure, lung cancer, silicosis, and stomach cancer, and are also documented in the context of fracking operations, in both the fracking water and flowback water, include benzene, formaldehyde, crystalline silica, quartz, beryllium, chromium, Vi, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, ethylene oxide, and butadiene. There is also naturally occurring radioactive materials, NORMs like uranium, radium-226 and radium-228, and heavy metals like lead, arsenic, and cadmium. PFAS, per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, are known as forever chemicals because they do not break down naturally. Some PFAS have been used in fracking and are linked to kidney and testicular cancer. In a briefing titled, Health Implications of Fracking for Natural Gas in the Great Lakes-St. Lawrence River Basin, Dr. Theo Colborn noted that some workers were required to sign contracts preventing them from ever revealing their hourly wage or health problems. The recovered waste fluid, contaminated with chemicals and anything that water has come in contact with, meaning heavy metals and minerals, is often left in open-air pits to evaporate, releasing harmful, volatile organic compounds into the atmosphere, creating contaminated air, acid rain, and ground-level ozone. The contaminated recovered waste fluid is also injected into deep underground reservoirs, oil and gas waste wells, or even in saline aquifers, where the contaminated water is subject to leaks into surrounding watersheds. There are serious concerns about the ability of these caverns and aquifers to handle the increased pressure. Evidence is showing that deep well injecting in many parts of the U.S. and in British Columbia is linked to the occurrence of earthquakes. BC Hydro had to perform significant and costly foundation enhancements at the Site C Dam due to complex geotechnical problems in the area, which were partly related to seismic concerns and the unstable shale bedrock. These enhancements contributed substantially to major cost overruns that nearly doubled the project's original budget. Fracking is not completely banned around British Columbia's Site C Dam, but restrictions are in place. A 5-kilometer buffer zone has been established where new subsurface rights for drilling and fracking cannot be awarded, and more caution is required for pre-existing rights within that zone. BC Hydro and the Oil and Gas Commission agreed to these restrictions to protect the dam from the risks of earthquakes induced by fracking operations. Studies have found that methane concentrations in drinking water wells within a kilometer of natural gas fracturing sites can be up to 17 times higher than in wells farther away. This indicates a link between gas extraction and methane contamination, as the average concentration in nearby wells was 19.2 milligrams per liter compared to 1.1 milligrams per liter in non-drilling areas. The contamination is a concern because high levels of methane can pose an explosion and asphyxiation hazard. Extracting natural gas through hydraulic fracturing, transporting it to a terminal, and then supercooling it for shipping in tankers is not clean energy. In fact, it's as dirty or dirtier than coal because of methane leaks and the energy used in liquefaction. Natural gas emits about half as much carbon dioxide as coal per unit of energy when burned, but a report by Cornell University concluded that methane leakage was 3.6% to 7.9% of gas produced. There is also no evidence that LNG exports would reduce coal use around the world, as it often competes more with renewable energy development than with coal. Hydraulic fracturing of oil and gas wells is contaminating our fresh water supply. It is estimated that 1.7 million wells have been fracked in the U.S., more than 200,000 in Canada, while as many as 2.5 million have been fracked worldwide, and we're drilling hundreds more per day. Each fractured oil and gas well is a potential ticking time bomb of human cancers and mutation. In the end, when the shale boom goes bust, and it'll be much sooner than most think, we'll have to live with what's been done to our environment. In a few short years, will we be able to rationalize, to justify the short-term benefits from poisoning our most precious resource, our fresh water? Thank you for watching Poison in the Well.